Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 132.
So I had to cough.
Her allergies are bothering her.
I have really bad allergies.
And she's too stubborn to take medicine.
This is icky.
I'm sure all that
Yeah.
phlegm hanging in your throat is much better.
Yeah. No, but if I take the medicine, that will burn the phlegm. It will be like a chemical reaction.
I'm not sure you know how that works.
I'm special, dude.
No argument there. So, sadly, since our last episode, the Flyers did not make the playoffs.
Okay.
I mean, upsides. Look, it was interesting to the last game.
Yeah.
It was pretty much an exciting season to watch, except for just a handful of games. But they competed in everything. And I'll own it. Whenever you predict something and you get it wrong, you got to own it. So I predicted they would make a wild card spot in our first episode of the season.
Yeah.
If they had health and goaltending. So I think overall, no hockey team gets 100% healthy, but they had health for most of the season. There was a few games where they were down some defensemen, but I thought Ginning and Adder and everybody they called up played solid. So, can't blame it on health. Obviously, if Carter Hart was still here, it was Hart and Ersson. Those are definitely a few more points because, Cal Peterson's terrible. And Sandstrom didn't help himself. I don't agree with the way they've used Sandstrom for the last 2 years. However, he had a shot to play and he didn't perform well enough either. So, they clearly would have made the playoffs with Hart, but that happened, and so he's not here, not available. So, I was wrong. I predicted a playoff season and it didn't happen, so I got to own it. But speaking of goaltending. So Fedotov is good that he came over. Please stop panicking that he didn't look good in the first couple of games.
Oh my god.
Oh my god! I don't know if he's going to be the answer. I don't know if he's but Jesus, I'm willing to let him look. Like the jump in where he jumped in, coming around the world, everything he's been through, new equipment, all this. Let the guy let him have an off season. Let's see. I am excited though. I got my Kolosov jersey. Phantoms look like they should be in the playoffs.
Got a new jersey?
Yep. His KHL jersey. I like him a lot. Now, I know he's going to need some time in the AHL for sure. So we'll see what happens. But I think I like him better than Fedotov. We'll see what happens. They had Torts and Danny talk for a little bit. It seems like it's highly unlikely to me the Flyers bring in a goalie. You got to see what Fedotov has. You're going to give him a contract. I think Ersson is at least proved extreme worst case scenario. He's an NHL backup. I think he could start. He's not like Brodeur where he's going to start 80 games. He needs somebody to share the load with because he wore down last year at the end of the Phantom season and definitely had some, at the end of the season, he started to look a little worn there, although he brought it back with the last couple of games. So I just don't see them bringing in a goalie. Not where they're at in the rebuild and not with, you're still paying Peterson. You got Kolosov, so that's two in that's your Phantoms goalies there. So I think just got to hope that Ersson keeps his level up and Fedotov proves to be an NHL goalie. We'll see what happens. I can't predict anything for next season beyond that. We've got to see where the roster is. I don't expect major changes. You got to just see what's offered to you. Something's out there. To me, the big key for this rebuild and where they're at by the time Michkov comes over in 2 years, the biggest key is Jamie Drysdale. Heck of a player, just needs to be healthy. They've now said twice that he's probably going to have some minor surgery in the offseason to clean some things up and help him get stronger. Do it sooner than later because I don't wait till much ready for camp.
Yeah.
So to me, he's a question mark. Not skill-wise. I think he's definitely has the skill to be a top-pair defenseman. Certainly can skate. Certainly has offense. Smart with the puck, but it's health with him. York took big steps, so they did the awards. Fan club got to present with Lauren Hart, Misty, Sam Ersson won the Dean Hart Award for the fan club, which is awesome. And I kind of got most of the other ones right. Cam York, most improved, which I totally agree with. Yeah. Sanheim, best defenseman, which I totally agree with. Yeah. Although York did give him a run for his money by the end of the season. Yeah. Sanheim just more points, minutes. Sanheim earned it. But I'm happy with the way York improved.
Yeah.
I still think Ronnie Attard is going to be a regular defenseman. Zamula up and down, but not a bad season. I think they need a little more help in defense. We'll see what Emil Andre turns into. Bonk is going to go back to London, although I think he's going to be a part of the Flyers' future, but I think he plays another year in Youngland. I think Barkley plays another year in London as well. As far as the forwards, I mean, yeah, obviously they need a little more scoring punch. Couturier ran out of gas. I do think with an offseason, Coots will be fine next year.
Yeah.
I think maybe a little more load management by Torts will make some sense. I think Frost still gets the shaft from Tortorella. It pissed me off that they didn't play him for that third period of the final game. I think you put your offensive guys.
I got touched.
Earmuffs. I think you put your offensive guys out in the third period when you need a goal. But I think Frost took another step, and when he was allowed to play, if he was allowed to play like he should have, he'd have had career points.
Yeah.
Farabee had career points. TK proved another season that he's an all-star level player. Tippett, if he would hit the net, would be an all-star level player, but he still had a good season. I wish to God they would get that guy a shooting coach that just followed him around everywhere he went. I love Tippett. I love the way he plays, but he could score more if he could actually just in the net.
Yeah, not poles outside, over.
But that's something to work on. I don't know what his development was like because he came from the Florida Panthers. He didn't get a lot of chance to play with the Panthers because they've got a lot of skill forwards. Don't know what happened in his AHL career. I didn't watch a lot of it, just at the very tail end there, so I don't know. But the skill level is there. They just need to hone his shooting.
I can't breathe. My nose is clogged.
Ready?
No, let's not do that. That's going to go gross.
Blowing air boogers? He's doing that. Got cold. Yeah.
No. Absolutely not.
So we'll get more in the next season. We'll see what Danny does. Draft is the next big deal after we get through the playoffs. Speaking of the draft, so I wanted to thank Russ Cohen. You weren't able to make the fan club meeting last night. Only me and Michelle went. But Russ wrote this book a few years ago with some people. Really cool pictures in it as well. I finally got Russ to sign it for me because I forgot it last year. So Russ, if you don't follow him, it's at Sportsology on Twitter or X or whatever the heck they call it now.
Yeah.
Russ is a good authority on the draft. Like somebody I really respect. He puts in the time. He travels. He watches the games. He is a good mix of, he knows analytics, but he's still got the old school eye test. So you should follow Russ on Twitter if you want to hear like actual good scouting opinions on players. He went over some picks. The Flyers are going to have 2 first-round picks, which is cool because they still need more talent. I think they played very well. I think they're better than people give them credit, but obviously they need more. Mitchkov is only one piece. They need another. We'll see what Frosty does. We'll see how Coots plays. This draft is not deep on. It's basically number one center, and he's going first.
Yeah.
There could be some quality number 2 centers, so we'll see what happens. I still think eventually the Flyers are going to either sign a free agent or make a trade for a center as we get closer, probably like next year. But
like 2025.
Yeah, one more season with this, and then they'll start loading up to try to make playoff run. Not go crazy, but start acquiring free agents.
Yep.
Like not like Poland, lower level price free agent. Like actually maybe get a guy, but we'll see what happens. You guys got to develop. So you're too young to remember, but your Uncle Joey's favorite team is the Flames. They had a player named Jerome McGinley for years. His son is draft eligible.
Uh-huh.
He's a left winger probably. Play a little center if he had to, but I'd love to see him if he falls. And then there's another guy, Cole Iserman, who's from the America program, left winger. Yes, the Flyers use center, but you can always use another left wing too. So he'd be great. But we'll get into the draft special down the road. But if you're not following Russ, you should. Russ really knows his stuff. Is there anything from you, young lady?
I would really like to go blow my nose.
Yeah, so we're going to wrap this up.
Cheyenne can no breathe.
I know. We'll get you back to bed. I appreciate you shooting one. I didn't want to miss it, but I know you're not feeling your best. So,
I'm a little dying over here. Dying.
Thank you for watching. I'm going to go, tuck my daughter into bed.
Be for real, you're going back to work.
And I have to go back to work. So, you want to say goodbye to all the nice people?
Bye-byes. Bye-byes.
See you next week. Thanks for watching.